I'm here obviously to talk about the MAEP underfunding lawsuit that we filed last week. I wrote MAEP as a state senator, got it passed as lieutenant governor, and fully funded it as governor. Now, arguably there are more people in the state, or there are people who know more about education than I do, my wife being one of them. But as Sid Salter said the other day, and Charlie Mitchell said, I doubt that many more people know much more about education funding than Musgrove. Now, Hob Bryan's a close second. If you tell him I said that, though, I'll call you a liar. You know Hob is extremely knowledgeable. And, of course, we worked on this together, and to say that I did it all by myself would be a mischaracterization, because that would not be accurate. Hob and Gray and others worked with me. But when you look at the MAEP funding formula, we said at the time it was not a Cadillac version. It was a solid funding formula to allow schools to be at a level 3 rating, which has since been converted to a level C, I think as they currently call it. Over the years, the requirements for schools have continued to go up. And that's good, that we want our students to learn more, to know more, but at the same time that the requirements have gone up, the funding has steadily gone down. And of course, without getting into the grave background, there are people sitting in this room and on the telephone, Bobby, that remember how we first got the bill passed. And that was when Billy McCoy killed it in the House in the '94 session. I said we weren't going to take up anything that the House passed unless and until they revived the bill. And there was a lot of coverage and a lot of consternation and a lot of criticism of the way it worked, but that was the only way to get it done. And then after we were in conference, then for the first time the lieutenant governor told me that we weren't going to fund it. We let everything else go into effect, like the extra pay for the National Board Certified Teachers, the additional help for the bonding for building schools. Some aspects of the bill went into place, but the funding formula itself did not go into place until the funding was available. And then as lieutenant governor, that's really what caused me to run for lieutenant governor, which was probably one of the most foolish political moves I've ever made in my life. But at the same time, it meant that much to me. That then the governor called a special session and spent $187 million on prisons instead of the money we had to go toward education, to me was an absolute travesty. And that's when I decided to run for lieutenant governor.